Let me introduce myself. My name is Abhishek Dixit. I head the HPC and the big data business for Fujitsu in the country. My colleague, Mr. Pankaj Sharma, he's the solution architect for HPC and the big data business for us in the country. First of all, thanks a lot for all of you for coming here and spending your valuable time with us. Probably these presentations will be some of your interest, and if you have any questions, we can just probably ask a little bit later during our, once we finish our presentation. So I'll just say a few words, and before I hand it over to Pankaj, that big data is one of the biggest buzzword everybody is talking about in the last couple of years, probably 5 or 6 years. It all started in 2005, 4, around that point of time when Yahoo, Google, and all these people started thinking about developing a different kind of file system which can do unstructured, structured query. In the current scenario, in the current perspective of the industry, unfortunately I have to use this, but I'll definitely say that big data is a very abused term in the market. Anybody says that we do big data. But unfortunately, the biggest problem is that if you go and ask any of your people, any of your organizations that, when they come to your place and ask them, they say, we do big data. Everybody start talking about Hadoop, this file system, that file system, and all that. But nobody is trying to address the real world problem that what is the customer pain point. So as Fujitsu, what we have done, yes, we understand big data, we understand this, but we are more interested in solving your real world problem using Hadoop as one of the technology tool. Okay, so that is what our approach is. Probably even in this presentation, we'll talk about very little bit about the product side, but our main objective is to talk about the use cases and give you a very brief concept that what big data is all about and how we can leverage that in solving the real world problem. Okay, so I'll hand it over to Pankaj now, so he can take it forward from there, and then I'll jump in again.
Hello, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So as Abhishek told that big data is the buzzword in the industry. So we'll talk about the big data in today's world, but as he said, we will try to address your problems, what your problem statement is, how we can do or what we can do rather than talking about any product. So what is today's view of technology in the digital world? Be it a smart city, be it any factory, be it any plant, everybody is talking about the IoT. So what IoT is? IoT is basically Internet of the Things. What we can connect to Internet, what it can gather out of it, that's the IoT. So IoT is the simple concept where we can have tools, we can have sensors, we can have data collection mechanism, we can collect the data. But what next? We have a data, we have tools to collect the data, but unless we get the information out of the data which can help me to innovate my business, smoothing my business operations, it's useless. So that is where it comes hand in hand with the big data. So if I am able to collect the data, I am able to collect the real-time world data from the sensors, and I am able to do certain work on that data and get the insights from the data which can help me in my business operations. That is what we want to work. That is what we want to drive. Rather than giving an isolation solution to collect the data, isolation software to give you the analytics tool, no. We as a Fujitsu talk about the total integrated solution, total integrated approach where we will help you to collect the data, we will help you to analyze the data. So what are the industry pain points today? Say if we talk about 2 or 3 years back when you attend such kind of events, people always told you about our products. We have so much big storage, we have so much big performance of the storage, we can give you FC connectivity, we can give you SAS, we can give you iSCSI and blah blah blah. But today, isolation of the storage, that is the collection of data, is one part. We all know the mechanism to collect the data, we all know the mechanism to store the data. But how should we get the information out of that data? If we talk about the weather analytics in India, Today we have so many tools, so much data of last 50 or 40 years when the tsunami has come, how weather operates in month of May, June. But unless we bring out the analysis out of that data is useless. So the biggest touch point we divide in the industry, we say are the three main pain points. The first one is to collect the data, store the data, and to filter that data. Next one is to get the insights out of data. What data is giving us the information. And lastly, to analyze that data, what we can get the information out of data in the real world. So we are talking about the digital world. We are saying we have to get digitized, we have to bring the smart city and everything. So what are the challenges we would face when we try to get ourselves digitized? So the first and the foremost challenge is the talent and the leadership. Every organization which is trying to bring itself into digital world, which try to get the data, which try to get the analysis of the data, face the problem of talent, that is the skill set. To acquire a skill set is a major challenge because the technology is changing day by day. Harder it is get the skill set as a people. If we acquire any skill, in 6 months the technology will change. Then the security of the data. 66% of the top executives think the security of the data is the most critical thing. They can't, while doing the analysis, they have to keep their data secure. Then the complexity. Like, as I said, technology is changing day by day. So once we acquire any skill set, once we gather, the people respond to that technology is in a bit slower rate. Like we can't learn the technology. So that is where the complexity comes. And last but not least, the adaptation. Like if my organization is running on a particular skill set, particular technology, I am little resistant in adopting the new technology because I don't know how it will behave, what it will do with my data. So as a Fujitsu, we provide you the solution for all the four things. We take the ownership for the talent, we take ownership for the security, we bring you the complex solution at our own skills, and we help you in adaptation of the technologies. That is the integrated solution which will bring you to right from the collection of data to the analysis of data. So as I said, we believe in threefold approach. The first is the people. That is, we will bring you the right talent, right skill set, the information. We will bring you the knowledge, intelligence, what is happening on the new technologies, what we can do with your data, and the infrastructure, that is the platform, the hardware things. So as a Fujitsu, we have all the combination of three things which can give you an end-to-end solution. So here comes the solution of the big data, as I said. So big data is what? Big data is, if I say the big data give us a promise to get the maximum hidden secrets out of the data. Whatever we were not able to analyze, what we were not able to get the information from the static data which was lying in our storage, now with the help of data, we can analyze those information. We can use those information for our business growth, business innovations, and taking right decisions at the right time in a real-time scenario, be it a smart city, be it cyber security, be it fraud or anything. So Abhishek will take up you for all those things in future, how it can help. So just one thing here, like other value chain what big data adds is like till now before the big data, what we always thinks, data has to be in a structure. Like if I have to study any data, I have to make some tabular form of it, be it Oracle DB, be it SQL, be it, I have to organize the data in some sort of database or some structure to read or go through that data. If I have a banking transaction or anything, unless I have some tabular form information, I can't read that data. So that's what my software are. But what the big data helps me out, big data give me a free hand to analyze the data in any form, be it structured, be it unstructured, be it semi-structured, be it text, be it audio, be it image or any files. I can bring them together, I can work on them in the real-time scenario, and I can get the information out of them. It can be useful for any call center, it can be useful for any plant, it can be for any intelligence agency or anything in the world. So what we cannot think out of the data, big data help me to get the information out of that. And we can cleanse means we can get the information of like I might be having a 200 TB of data in a storage, but what I want to get the information from data that might be related to 10 TB only. So it will help me to clean the data, left the data which is related to me and wipe out rest of the data. So that will help me. That is what the strength of big data. So Abhishek, you can take it up from here.
Yeah, so thanks Pankaj. So now what we want to talk about now is big data is in generic term, you might heard somebody say big data or Hadoop, So now Hadoop is becoming a mainstream, When I say mainstream, because Hadoop is an open file system. It's just one of the technology ways which was developed by some rookie engineers or some scientists or people from Google and all these places. But now this is becoming an enterprise ready product, All the large major enterprises are trying to get into this kind of a solution. And when we talk about the enterprise solution, that means it has to be like full-fledged, it should be DR ready, it should be backup, it should have, real-time scenario, it should have retrieval and all. So all the enterprise features should be there. So now it is already there. So there are companies like, specifically on the Hadoop side, the Cloudera, MapR, and Hortonworks. These are three major distribution vendors who have made this as an enterprise product, pretty much like the way we have Linux, which is from SUSE or Red Hat. Okay. What we are trying to do is that, yes, these are the big data players, these are the big data distribution vendors, but they're not providing you the end-to-end solution. They're not providing you a real-world scenario where you deploy this and you get a solution. What we are trying to do, we are trying to, get you towards the end-to-end solution that could involve, analytics layer, that could involve a distribution layer, that could involve the infrastructure layer, that could involve consultancy services and all forth. So that's what we are trying to do. Now coming back to the industry space where it is getting utilized, you name it, and probably every possible industry on earth is utilizing, it can utilize big data in some or the other way. Finance, public sector, automotive, transport, retail, weather, research, education, anything and everything can utilize big data because it's very, very powerful tool to analyze structured, unstructured data, which was not possible earlier because of the restrictions on the Oracle databases and all that. Cybersecurity, you might be hearing about a lot of buzz about cybersecurity. This is becoming, every other day there is some kind of security threat, some account getting hacked, some this getting hacked. So all these are again utilizing the logs and the data that gets generated over real time from various industries can now be analyzed using big data as a solution. Okay. So, for example, Spark is one of the cybersecurity vendors who does the analysis of cybersecurity kind of a data. So the other major part when we talk about this industry vertical, so the data which is generated by a finance company is completely different from the data created by a public sector company or an automotive guy. Automotive is more like sensor, this is more like, transactional data, finance is more like transactional data, retail is like sentiment analysis also. The data structure is very, very different. So you cannot solve one problem just by deploying a Hadoop software or be something like that. So it has to be more done in a very consultative manner to provide a solution to all this big gamut of information. What people are missing about, people say, for example, one of the networking vendors says that we do big data. What they do? They say, no, we are doing big data because we do network analysis and which is unstructured data and blah, blah, blah. But when you go and actually talk to them about any solution around it, the answer is no. Yeah, we collect the data and give it to you. You read it. So that doesn't solve the problem, Fraud detection, it's a very important solution that needs to be there for the financial industry, insurance, our government, Demonetization was a big buzzword that happened around 8th of November. Probably the data that is getting collected by Mr. Modi's government is pretty much dependent on big data. You all know about Aadhaar. Aadhaar is the world's biggest and the largest live big data infrastructure, okay, so it's one of the biggest and the largest in the world. So it has millions and millions of record, and that's a big and massive, and that's running on a Hadoop file system, okay. So Again, so what happens in this kind of a scenario where, for example, below $10,000, how many transactions have taken place in last 6 months? That is a big data problem. You can't have, and transactional data is more like unstructured data. You need to run query on that, and so that becomes more like a real world scenario. Target advertising. You might have all noticed that somebody searching a rental property for himself for living in Bangalore, or somebody looking forward to buy a new car. The moment you go log in into your Facebook or Twitter or these kind of accounts, you see you're searching in Google a property to rent out or a rented property. You will see that an ad will pop up next on your Twitter handle or your Facebook handle or even your IRCTC account. So that's what is targeted advertising. The information is getting collected information is getting collected from the Google and getting transported to all these things, all these social networking sites and other places. Sentiment analysis, this is pretty utilized by retail or manufacturing and services people to analyze what time you're looking forward for insurance and all that. This is all unstructured information which is getting fed back to these organizations. Monitoring, again, a lot of sensor data that comes up. There's a big buzzword about driverless cars and all those things. That's nothing but the sensor data which get again monitored and calculated and done in different ways. Okay. So probably Pankaj can take over. So the bottom line is this: if any one of you has some questions around some of these use cases, we can probably discuss a little bit later after the break.
Okay, thanks Abhishek. So till now in our presentation, you might have realized how big this big data is. This is a big elephant, as this a symbol of this shows Hadoop. So big elephant. So I can adding on to Abhishek's part, I'll just say how big it is. You might have think of the Aadhaar and the demonetization part. You can think of there are so many accounts in India, so many banks in India. If the CBDT, that's the Central Board of Direct Taxes or the Income Tax or the Enforcement Director, have to search the entire data, how much time taking it should be. But they are doing the big data analysis which is giving them a result which they are coming and cracking on the people. This is faster than they can think of it. If this big data would not have been there, I can bet within 5 years also you can't track those people, because how many time manual records you will have? There are so many banks. You can go each and every bank, give me your data, I'll read out. No, you can't read out. So that is what the strength of big data, that is what the big thing it is. You can search the petabytes of data in hours to result or to respond your query what you want. The other beauty is the simplicity. You can write your query in proper English. You need not to understand the technology. What is at the back, you need not. You have a simple GUI, you can write your query and get the data out of it. So that is what the beauty of big data. So coming to forward bit technical things. So big data is it can help us in the batch processing as the event processing. And the major thing is we can cleanse the data. This was the cleansing of data, which was the problem statement till now, be it any finance or any kind of data. Like we always keep on collecting the data, but we never had a tool before the big data to clean the data. Cleansing simple means what is the data important to me and what is not. I can segregate those data. Like if any retail chain, be it Walmart, be it Big Bazaar, be it anything, whatever they are doing, whatever transaction they are doing, whatever invoice they are billing at the end of the day, it is important for them to segregate the data, what is important for them to analyze and what is just the transactional data. They are not interested in their invoicing. The man or the management at the top is not interested how much billing I have done, because that is their daily routine. They are interested in what product I should bring my particular outlet so that my transaction or my billing can increase. The people who are coming there asking for a particular product, not getting and going to other shop should not go there. So they are interested in that. So if they again collect the billing, they will keep on manually, they can't get it. So they need a real-time processing. The guy who has come, I have to analyze at the end what was not available or what was available in excess in my particular shop so that I can streamline. So that is what the big data is. So there we can cleanse the data, transform into our requirement, and then give a fast response platform to the end user guy. End user guy is not a technology aware guy. He is simple guy. He has to put a query, get the result. So decision making will be faster. So here comes the things what will fit where. So Fujitsu will provide you the entire stack right from the cleanse, transform, analyze and visualize. So these are the 4 main factors for any organization to take a decision based on any data. And we will help you out in the 4 by our tie-ups, our global tie-ups, our local India tie-ups, our regional tie-ups and our own strength. But you will have a single window for the entire solution. So again, the point is how much Hadoop readiness as an industry we are having. As Abhishek said, that there are many vendors who will say we are doing big data. But when you go to them, they simply say this is my product, take it and do it if it fits to your requirement. But what we say that big data is not a one size which can fit. Everybody has their own requirement. Somebody comes from transport, somebody comes from financial, somebody comes from public sector, somebody is from railways. So they have their own type of data, they need their own problem statement. So I can't say I have this product, take it, it will fit to you. No, it will not fit to you. We have to give you a tailored product, we have to stretch it for you so that it can fit to your requirement. So for that it can be different tools, different software, different hardware every time, but we will do it for you as a single window. So about the IT department, how to manage it. We will handhold them, we will tell them how to use it. Business people need the right expertise, like business people are the domain people. They need not to go out of their domain. They have to simply spend their expertise in their domain. We will give you the rest of the technology to work for your domain. So for that, what Fujitsu has to offer, as the previous presenter cannot told about our different PrimeFlex solution. So coming out of those PrimeFlex solutions, we have one solution called PrimeFlex for Hadoop. This is our solution, which we called it, which tailor fit, we stitch it for your requirement of the big data. So what in a PrimeFlex we offer? So in a PrimeFlex we offer right from the day one the servicing and the consulting. From the day one, like whether you need a big data or not, if you need how much size, what performance, whether your data can perform with the big data or not, or whether a simple tool, analysis tool is enough for you. Why should you spend money on the big data? So that is right from the consulting, then the entire software stack. There are so many vendors in the industry like Cloudera, Mapper on the platform, then there are so many analysis tools. So we will give you the consulting which tool fits best to your requirement. And last but not least is the platform. Like there can be many type of platform which will give you different performance basis on the different data, which can be connected to different faster networks. So that we will help you out in designing your platform for you. So as I said, PrimeFlex for Hadoop stack is an end-to-end data analytics. Other good thing is like for some of the industry things, not implemented in all, but some of the things, we are trying to bring the analysis based on the spreadsheet. Specifically, if I say the finance guy, they are good in working on the spreadsheet. They don't understand the big tool. So what if we can bring your data, your result in the form of spreadsheet to you? So that is what we are trying to bring, and in some of the domains, yes, it is successful. So explore and identify the data patterns, like how your data is coming, what are the different patterns of it, what we can get a result out of this. So we will do all these things for you. So this is moving beyond the dashboard. Like you have your own software you are using on the workstation something, which will give you certain results which you can present to your top management in form of MIS. But it is beyond those dashboards, like you can get the insights of the data, what you want to do, what you want to take the decisions. So these are all the things which we can say, like assessment workshops, strategy consulting services, Hadoop integration. So this is all the entire stuff what we do it in PrimeFlex solution. So in short, it is an integrated system with analytic capability, visualization and the decision making which we give as an integration to our users from Fujitsu. So these are the few testimonials, like in which DKFG is the German Cancer Research Institute, where we have done a lot of work. Then Meteomatics is a German weather department. So they have also bring their forecasting time in 2 hours from weeks based on the big data solutions. And this is a use case for German Cancer Institute, where we have asked the biologists to use just the spreadsheet for their decision making. Rest all thing is done by big data. So that's all from our side today. Any questions? So in genome, like we have done in a German Cancer Institute, where the cancer genome analysis is done. Like if I have a good genome, like I am a normal guy, other is a cancer guy. So they will consult the tool, compare the two things, and then bring the result where the anomaly is in the particular genome. So that is the result based on the data mirror. Like data mirror is the software which is used being there.
Basically, it's called pattern mapping.
Yeah, it's a pattern mapping for the genome analysis.
What about the data collection from the sensors? So you will coordinate with somebody else?
Yes. So that's an integrated solution you will get.
Yeah, so the objective, we are not productizing this thing because it doesn't fall into the product category. It's more like a consultative effort. We need to understand what's your problem statement, and accordingly we'll give you a solution which will start from your probably very first stage till the end stage, like collecting the data and even giving you the intelligent data.
So we can take questions.
Yeah, okay.
Right, thank you guys.
Okay, thank you.